This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 18 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome to the Hope Arena on the campus of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology for tonight's HCAC matchup. One of two on the slate tonight in the conference. Hanover here in town facing the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Hello, friends. Walter Gordon. Alongside Mr. Troy Wilzine, glad to have you here with us in our perch at the Hobart Arena. And Troy, we say this every week, and every week it rings true. This is a big one here tonight.
Yeah, it seems like we talk about every game being huge, and
yes.
We're getting kind of towards that stretch run here,
Right.
and a little more significance to each and every conference game now. These two teams are tied. Coming in, three-way tie actually for fourth. So we've got 7 teams, only 6 of them go to the postseason tournament. It's going to get real exciting down the stretch.
You know, it's interesting as you watch the season progress. Of course, a 10-team conference and things start to thin out once you get to the midpoint, which is we're a little bit past the midpoint now. But you see, there's starting to be a little bit of a separation in between the bottom of the conference, the top of the conference, and then there's a log jam in the middle, and that's where Rose-Hulman and Hanover find themselves.
Yeah, obviously Anderson's kind of taken off. They're 9-1 in conference play, kind of laid their claim to the top spot.
Sure.
And then down at the bottom, Bluffton, Earlham, and Defiance, not really clicking on all cylinders.
Sure.
Defiance still looking for their first conference win. So,
right.
But yeah, the rest of them packed in there tight in the middle. As I mentioned, 7 teams. There's only 6 available spots in the conference tournament. Right now, the odd man out is Mount St. Joe's, but that could change, each and every night.
And, of course, Mount St. Joe's, not to get too far ahead of ourselves because we're just in the pregame of tonight's game, but Saturday, Mount St. Joe's will be here at the Hobart Arena. So every game is absolutely pivotal when you look at this conference and trying to make it into that top 6 for postseason berths. We talk about postseason quite a bit around here. That's just because not everybody makes it. You gotta be in that top 6, and it's usually at the end of the season, that last week of the season, it's kind of a bloodbath.
Yeah, it really is. And Rose-Hulman's on a pretty good run here. They dropped 2 of the 3 on their last road trip, but they won the 3 previous home games then. So hopefully a trip back home here, kind of a heartbreaker last time out,
yes.
Losing on a buzzer beater, could have taken 2 out of 3 on the road. That would have been big, but
right.
They can get right back in the groove here tonight against Hanover.
It was that Manchester game on January the 11th. We talked about the pending 3-game road trip, and you eyed that and said, boy, if we can go 2 out of 3, that'd be great, but this is a tough road swing. You were 100% accurate.
Yeah, you were hoping the Defiance game, obviously,
right.
which they rolled pretty well in that one.
Right.
You knew Anderson was going to be real tough, and they kind of got blown out there in the second half.
Right.
But, man, that was a bit of a heartbreaker last time out.
It was.
Can't let it get you down, though. You're still right in the thick of things. There's still a chance to win the regular season title here. I mean, Anderson's not that far ahead.
Right.
So you just got to take each and every game. And tonight it's Hanover, and this This one carries a little more significance than any of the previous ones. So
when you look at the last part of the schedule, Anderson, 5 of their last 8 games, including their games they'll play tomorrow night, are against teams that are currently in the top 6 of the conference. So schedule's going to get a little tougher for Anderson. They still have to come here, the penultimate game of the season. So we'll see how this flushes out. I still feel that the top spot is still up for grabs. We'll see how that flushes out. We'll take our first break in our pregame show. Would you come back and get you set for action? It's Hanover. It's Rose-Hulman right here on the Indiana Sports Network.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are!
You're #1 at York.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive healthcare for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business. You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
And a big thank you to Brian Sponsor Insurance for being our pregame sponsor here tonight. We also want to thank Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. You look at that Brian Sponsor commercial. That is a sweet Cadillac.
It's a nice caddy, yeah. I was looking at that.
That gets your attention, doesn't it?
It
oh,
does.
my goodness. That big body is... They just don't make them like that. You know, you hear people, they don't make them like that anymore. They really don't.
Kind of
really
aging
don't.
yourself when you say that, but
man,
you know, it's true. It's a sweet ride.
It is. So we have a sweet contest here tonight for you, Rose-Hulman and Hanover. When you look at this season, this is the second time these two teams have played each other this season. Hanover got the better of Rose-Hulman in that first contest just, I believe, last month.
Yeah, Hanover won by 12 in that one. About a month and a half ago, and I think that was the first conference game of the year for Rose, and not off on the right foot there, but they can redeem themselves tonight. Hanover's one of the very few teams you're ever going to see come into Terre Haute that has a winning record against Rose.
Right.
So Rose hoping to chip away at that too. I think the all-time record 46-56 against the Panthers.
You know, when you look at that game, I was looking at the stat line on that, and some really weird things that you don't necessarily see. In that game, 11 total fouls were called, a total of 2 free throws taken in the entire game, both by Hanover. Rose-Hulman, I didn't have time to kind of go back and kind of chronicle things, you know, trying to figure out the last time they did not shoot a free throw in a basketball game. When you don't shoot a free throw in a basketball game, that is a kind of a telling stat. You can blame the referees. You can blame yourself. I don't know which way you want to go with that. But sometimes you got to force yourself to the free throw line. Hanover, not really a team that's going to foul you a whole lot. Maybe a little bit more freedom, not as much pressure. So Rose-Hulman looked to maybe force some things here tonight.
Yeah, and Hanover's a really disciplined team.
Yeah.
You know, they take care of the ball well. Defensively, they're clean, but they still apply a pretty good amount of pressure. Head coach John Miller in his 15th season here, and it's been a pretty successful ride. One thing I found interesting, I didn't realize it till today, but first of all, John Miller got his master's from right down the road at ISU.
Okay.
And second of all, he's only the third head coach since 1965 for Hanover, which you just don't see that anymore. There's so much turnover. So.
You know, continuity is a great thing, and you know, when you look up and down the conference, there's some tenure.
Yeah.
In HCAC, when you look at, and I don't want to start naming names, I'm going to start getting stuff wrong. But John Miller's been here quite a while, and he's seen quite a few things and taken several trips, long rides from Hanover here to Terre Haute and Rose-Hulman. So he's very familiar. Not as familiar with the Nick Sales brand of Rose-Hulman basketball. Nick Sales in his first year here at the helm of Rose-Hulman, still establishing the way he wants his team to play. And I think it'll be interesting as time goes on and he gets the type of athletes that he wants here in this system to fit the way he wants to play.
Yeah, you know, you kind of inherit the guys you've got this year, and he's doing a pretty good job with them.
He is.
A noticeable turnaround after the Wabash game, after the Christmas break. These guys came out, and they were playing a lot more physical and a little bit quicker, seemed like. And so far it's paid off pretty well. They're 4-1 here at home, so they're taking care of business where they need to. And if you can steal a road game here and there, you ought to be in pretty good shape. So we'll hope that continues tonight against Hanover. But, yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Hanover actually rebounds really well. They have a +6 margin over their opponents per game. And Rose-Hulman, that's kind of their bread and butter. We've talked about that several times. They're one of the bigger teams in the conference inside, but they may have a little more trouble tonight in the paint.
You know, matchups, we talk about this all season. Matchups is always the key. Rose-Hulman not playing as big as they did earlier in the season. Ty Houston, a young man for Hanover that really fills it up and has done it. And he's going to be a handful, starting at only 6'3", but a young man that plays bigger than his size.
Yeah, he's one of just two players on Hanover that's not from Indiana. He's from Union, Kentucky, but leads the team with almost 16 per game, and I think he gets about 7 or 8 rebounds a game too. So he's an all-around player, and certainly somebody you're going to have to always keep an eye on every possession down the floor.
And you know, look at their roster. You know, Max Greenamoyer, a young man that has tortured the engineers as well, and a young man that can really hit it from the outside.
Yeah, he really can. Greenamoyer, a 39% three-point shooter. He can light it up. If he's one of those guys, if he gets hot, look out, because, I mean, he can go from any range you want to. And, yeah, it's inside, outside. You're really going to have to be on their game tonight if the Engineers are going to pull this one off.
And the Engineers led statistically by Max Chaplin, who over the last several games kind of found a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, last week he was named the HCAC Player of the Week.
Right.
2 consecutive games he set new career highs, so that's pretty cool. You don't see that very often. We were here for one of them. He scored 23. Can't remember who that was against. It was against Manchester. And then the next time out at Defiance, he lit them up for 26. So Max is hitting his stride, and, you know, it seems like that's another thing we bring up at some point every telecast is Max, and then Miles needs to step up too. Those guys got to be consistent.
And you mentioned Miles, a double-double candidate. As a young man, as a sophomore, that's really taking strides.
Oh, yeah, he's come along really well this year. Advanced himself as a player really well, and he is one of those guys that, along with Terry Hicks, you know, he's leading the charge. Terry's really come a long way here in the last month or so, and that's just great to see the seniors step up. So
back in the starting lineup, and very well could be here tonight. Got another little Max Chaplin stat. I'm going to keep that one, you know, and I'm going to put the little tool back in my holster. Keep that one in the chamber. I got a little something for you that I'll see if we can get a chance to break this out. Fans are still filing in. It's going to be a great night here at the Home Arena. We'll take them aside for our last break in our pregame show. Come back and give you the starters and the tip. We'll be right back.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
Here at Mossville Properties, Indian Atlanta Lifestyle, we're the hunting property, and our agents have the skills to close the deal. But what is it that separates us from others? We have field experience. We speak the language. We use targeted marketing. We cast a wide net, and we have local contacts. When it comes to buying or selling your hunting ground, let's just say, we're killing it.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
And now time for the starters for tonight's ball game. Bryce Gilman.
Max Greenemoyer. At 4, number 32, Coleman Sater. And at center, number 52, Jack Winninger. The Panthers are coached by John Miller. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. At guard, the 5'9" freshman out of Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 2, Kobe Studemeyer. At guard, the 5'11" junior from Alexandria, Virginia, number 3, Bradley Hardin. At guard, the 6'2" senior out of Carmel, Indiana, number 5, Max Chaplin. At 4, the 6'5" senior from Fishers, Indiana, number 10, Terry Hicks. And at 4, the 6'7" sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 42, Miles McGowan. The Fighting Engineers are coached by Nick Sales. Fans, the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited.
Well, you've heard the starters and some rules for engagement here as well. Gilman, Houston, Greenemoyer, Sater, and Winninger for the Panthers. For the Engineers, Studemeyer, Hardin, Chaplin, Hicks, and McGowan. People that are around the Wabash Valley area, they remember old Bryce Gilman. Also remember old Coleman Sater. These young men are now progressing through their time in college and are in the starting lineup for the Hanover Panthers. Engineers with the ball. Man-to-man defense deployed by Hanover, which is what we would expect to see. Sater drawing the assignment on Hicks. Hicks having a hard time with Sater. He's a tough customer. McGowan hard off the glass, and Hicks has Sater in the headlock. Oh, we got a call on Sater. Did they call Sater for that? What did he get?
Yeah, they did.
It must have been pre-headlock.
Pre-headlock. Huh?
Wow. It's a tough way to get your first foul call. Ended up being a headlock. And Zone now deployed. The Engineers trying to solve that riddle. Free throw line jumper by Hicks off the glass and in.
Yeah, last time we saw Rose-Hulman here at the Holbert Arena, Terry had 10 in about the first 5 minutes.
Sater put the ball on the deck and got that one to go. Looking for maybe an and one. Ties this up at 2. Going to see a lot of movement, a lot of spreading of the floor for Hanover on offense. McGowan, a couple times to the deck, a little shoulder shake, and off the glass.
Yeah, Miles and Jack Weininger down there both stand about 6'7", so it's a pretty even matchup underneath, but a good move there by McGowan.
Weininger set all kind of career highs earlier this season against Rose-Hulman. Points, field goal attempts, makes, three-point attempts and makes, and there he is. Just on cue, steps out and hit his first three, and that's why he scored 33 points against Rose in December.
Yeah, Weininger about 35% from beyond the arc. That's pretty impressive for a big man.
You take that Rose-Hulman game out and it dips down a little bit. Take that one game out and do the percentages, and you can see how big he was. Max Chaplin matches a 3 for 3. Rose-Hulman a 7-5 lead.
It's a big answer for the Engineers early in this one.
Threes flying from all over the place, and the ball tipped out of bounds. You know, Rose-Hulman 0-7 when Max Chaplin makes less than 2 3-pointers this season.
Is that stat you're
That
holding?
is I couldn't hold it. I just couldn't hold it.
You made it 2 minutes. That's a crazy thing, though. That's
nice little curl, and Studemeyer.
The Engineers spreading it around real well. We've seen Hicks, McGowan, Studemeyer, and Max all score so far.
You know, I was going to ask Kobe a few weeks ago how to pronounce his last name, but I heard the last few games, I've heard the PA announcers going with Studemeyer, so I'm going to go with that as well.
Yeah, and I'll apologize. I called him Stoudemire that first
couple
game.
That's right, we did. We did. Sater, a little teardrop, draws it within a possession, 9-7. Nice free-flowing offense so far.
Yeah, and as you mentioned in their last matchup, we haven't heard a whistle yet. Well, one down here, but pretty clean.
Mid-range is good for Chaplin. He's got 5 early.
Yeah, Max is feeling it. Maybe we'll get another career high tonight. Let's hit 30.
You never know. You never know. Bryce Gilman, the South Vermilion product. Oh, what a nice take there by Houston. I believe that was his first attempt of the game. A little short on that runner. Houston has just been a terror. Since his sophomore season, he's averaged 19 a game against Rose-Hulman.
Seems like every team will have that one guy that you just don't match up with, you know? It's
Houston,
never fails.
A senior at 6'3". Look at that speed. Got the shoulder by Studemeyer, and Gilman gets the whistle. It's going to be on the floor, though. 11-7.
Looks more like he lost his footing on that than anything, but got the call.
How about a great student section for Rose-Hulman here tonight? Students really came out in mass. Great crowd here at the Holbert Arena. Hicks throwing the assignment on Weininger. Needs to terminate his dribble. There he goes. And boy, when you have to go that far out on Greenamore, he just will dial up from anywhere. Ball popping. Houston dropping the 3.
Yeah, that was great ball movement by the Panthers. And Houston, the leading three-point shooter on the team, right about 40%. That is, that's up there.
Panthers hit 17 three-pointers in their matchup with Rose in December. Hicks free throw line again. He's 2 for 2 from there.
Terry's found a sweet spot right in the middle of the lane.
His mid-range jumper is pure. Love to see Rose continue to get him looks around that mid-post elbow area. Gilman on the drive. He is a blur. People in this part of the state have seen that for a number of years, and now you have McGowan off the glass. Nobody can miss. Both teams lighten it up. Both teams over 70% so far.
Yeah, you said free-flowing. That's a perfect description of this one so far.
Flowing like the Ohio River that Hanover hails from, right off the Ohio River on the Indiana-Kentucky border. Weininger taps it to himself, but stays out of bounds. Couldn't quite keep the possession. A great effort, and will have a timeout. 14-31, 15-12, Engineers by 3.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at YorkAutomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Rose-Hulman 9-8 on the season. Hanover 10-7. Both are 6-4 in the conference. Both have played a really good non-conference season. Look at Rose-Hulman playing DePaul, playing the Trine, playing Carthage and Wabash. Of course, Trine, the top 25 in Division III basketball. And then look at Hanover. They played, I believe it was Wheaton. Wheaton is in the top 25.
I think they beat Hope, too.
Yeah, so that's right. So, I mean, when you look at these teams playing some tough opponents, they played NYU, a tough one there in a Holiday Classic. Gilman, a steal. Rose-Hulman tried to poke it away, not able to do that, but make them reset the possession. Gilman had turnover out after a timeout.
Yeah, that was a little mistake there. I think that was Willie Bowman down there. He did make up for it. At least he knocked the ball away.
Right.
But Rose is on pace to score 120. You think they'll keep that up?
They'll probably, no, I do not. It would be something, though.
I think a flat no is probably the best answer.
You know, interestingly enough, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Tough take, and then the post area is missed by Greenamoyer. Simon Blair in the game for the first time along with Willie Bowman. Max Chaplin. Uh-oh. There's the stat. I'm going to give you the second half of that Max Chaplin stat. Rose-Hulman 8-1 this season when Max makes 2 or more threes.
We're good then.
That's his second.
We're good.
Is it call the game now?
That's it.
All the Hanover fans saying these guys are crazy. We got a lot of time left, and I totally agree. Moving the ball so well. You took a look at Coach Miller's squad. They move the ball so beautifully. Sater backing down Blair. Goes into a brick wall. Not a great shot by Coleman Sater.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Hanover. You mentioned it. The passing is so precise. You don't see many sloppy passes or kind of low percentage passes. Everything's on target.
Harden gets it to Blair. That's going up. It is going down. Simon Blair, the product from Wagner, Oklahoma, hits his first shot of the day, and a timeout by Coach Miller. 21-12, Engineers stretch their lead to 9. A quick 30-second timeout.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events, we are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
21-12, still early first half. We mentioned the slate of games, usually on midweek Wednesday. All 10 teams play in the conference. Tonight, the only other game that was played was Manchester at Transy. Did you see the score on that one?
I did not.
Manchester won 109 to 106.
Good
so when you talk about what Rose-Hulman was on pace for, that's why I hesitated.
I didn't know that.
It might be something in the water tonight. Who knows?
Possible.
Gilman calls for the ball, initiates the offense. Gives it to Munoz, who's in for the first time tonight. Couple of hard dribbles. Look at that defense by Rose-Hulman. And Miles McGowan, a turnaround by Houston. And it is good. They should stop the floor right now. Ty Houston, with that bucket right there, scores his 1,000th point in Hanover's career. What a great accomplishment by Ty Houston. And I'm so glad this is his last trip to the Holbert Arena. Respectably saying that.
Yeah, that's an impressive milestone no matter
high
1,000
school,
points. College.
Didn't play a whole lot his freshman season, which a lot of freshmen don't, but has absolutely lit up the conference since then. Just a great player for Hanover. As Ty Houston with 1,000 points in his career. And a big congratulations to him, also his family. I know they're just absolutely loving that. See some across the way, right across from us. I don't know if we can get a picture on our screen, but right across from our perch, we got some neon signs, and it probably says something about 1,000.
Yeah,
if we can get a picture right across from us, Tony Harper there, we can get that on our screen. I don't know if we can get that, but we got some. There we go. 1,000 points, Ty Houston. Nobody can say that the visiting team doesn't get love here at the Holbert Arena.
You do something like that, you deserve it for sure.
We're equal opportunity accomplishment recognizers.
Oh yeah.
Tough foul by Bowman, as the crowd lets the referee know about the displeasure. It leads to a timeout. 23-14, Engineers in the lead.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
and there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtles!
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
So Ty Houston becomes the 39th Hanover Panther to score 1,000 points in his illustrious career. And you think, man, what is the leader, all-time leader in points total have? And that's Mark Gabriel. 2,368 points. Are you kidding me?
That one may stand
1966 to 1970.
It's already stood for a while.
My goodness.
Rob
St. Pierre on the same team scored 2,023 points? Holy smokes.
Nobody else shot on
that. They didn't have three-pointers back then, did they? Am I right?
So. Yeah, I don't think they did.
Holy moly.
Those didn't come in until a lot later.
Yeah, way later. So I just want to make sure I wasn't misspeaking there.
Yeah, it's
Forrest
offensive.
Roll the charge. But that is, between those two players, almost 4,500 points with one basketball.
Well, the guy in third was there their senior season.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, Dennis Laker, he was.
Wow. That is amazing.
And you got the
amazing.
stats tonight, Walt. I'll give you that.
Man, I'm telling you, I was excited about this game. Nice little give and go. Off the glass, yes, sir. Miles McGowan set up very nicely there by his teammate Zachary Jackson in for the first time as well.
The Engineers shooting a measly 77%.
Boy, I'm telling you. Got to guard that three-point line, and that's the one thing. Panthers can get hot in a hurry. You give up a lot of open three-pointers, they're going to make you pay. Munoz, the touch foul.
Munoz, a 6'6 junior from Indianapolis, going up against Miles, also from Indianapolis.
Yeah, Munoz went to Southport in the Conference Indiana where North and South play, and saw him play several times, and that was rough. Nice little pass down to Blair is paid off. Farnsworth does not get the assist, but Blair does get the offensive rebound.
While we're talking about 1,000-point scorers, I would like to once again congratulate J.Q. Roberts from Bloomington North. We got to witness his 1,000th point last week here on the Indiana Sports Network.
So if you, seems like this is 2 games in a row we've seen 1,000-point scores, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never seen one before, so that was pretty cool.
A turnover by Rose, and then a turnover by Hanover, and then another turnover by Rose. We got 3 turnovers in a matter of 8 seconds.
Yeah, Miles tried to quickly shuffle his feet over. I thought he did, but I guess not.
He didn't have. He wasn't set in the front court there, as rightly called that turnover. 27-14. Engineers still with 10-19 to go in the first half.
And you said Manchester beat Transy.
109-106. The Manchester was down 41-32 at the half. It went to double overtime. And get this.
So they had 32 at half?
Yes, 32 at half. Columbus and Hampton both fouled out. They played a combined 35 minutes and scored 8 points. And Manchester still put up 109. Are you kidding me?
Some nights it's your night. There's a shot clock violation.
Yeah.
Good defense, the Engineers.
The one thing that did not see at Transylvania was defense tonight.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
But it's just one of those things where sometimes you just get hot. Oh, and also Manchester only hit 6 threes.
That's it.
And they still scored 109.
Goodness gracious.
They did hit 31 free throws. I mean, it was just a wild game. I
I'll
saw
have to
that.
look back at the stats of that one. That's wild.
Jackson off the tip gonna be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. So when you look at the standings, that update those standings.
The winner of this will be in 4th place by themselves, and the loser will stay tied with Transy.
Yep. So Transy's just a half a game over Mount St. Joe's at this point. Ooh, this client done it. Just a half a game over.
Felt like you were screaming there for a minute, didn't you?
Just a half a game on top of the Mount St. Joe's for 6th place in the conference. Manchester moves to a half game over Franklin for 2nd place in the conference. So it'll still be a fluid situation over the last 8 games.
Perfect start tonight for the Engineers, though. I don't think they could have drawn this one up any better.
Nope. The one thing that you hope is that they can put 40 minutes together, and not just 10. Houston. Uh-oh. He's got 8 now, folks. He's starting to heat up. A traveling violation. Another turnover. That's turnover number 4 on the Engineers. Chaplin comes back in. Bowman comes out.
Meant to throw it out there when Blair hit that 3 earlier. That's just his 5th three-pointer he's made this year.
Man. Did not know that. This is a young man that he's going to continue to work on that shot. And he's going to continue to take it as well. Michael Donahoe in the game for the first time. Didn't say that earlier. Sater.
Oh. I think he was inside the arc there.
Okay. Coleman Sater, the Edgewood product. Another one of those Western Indiana kids is Western Indiana Conference, not the western side of Indiana. Let me be, very clear. Of course, Ellisville is still western-ish, maybe, but it's a young man that very tough, and you can see in the style of his play. He's a kind of a bruiser.
Yeah, he's one of those hard-nosed guys.
Yes, you love that.
Always fun to watch, too.
Yep. Made the first, makes the second. Draws the Panthers within 8. Gilman goes out. He'll get a little rest.
Sater, an 83% free throw shooter. That's those are the guys you want in at the end of the game. So.
Absolutely. Jackson uses the speed. McGowan can't get the tip. He goes to the ground, and Hanover has numbers if they can get the ball corralled. Here we go. Kyle Krim also in the game for the Panthers. The ball is a blur when you're playing Hanover.
They keep it moving, don't they?
Yes, they do. Nice screen by Weininger. Here we go. In the paint. A nice bucket by, was that Greenaboyer?
Yeah, a little one-handed floater there.
So the Engineers on a little bit of a drought, need to get a bucket here. Could have been a carry there by Farnsworth. Very close, had it on his hip there.
Boy, Isaac's so physical when he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Nowhere to go when you leave your feet. And guys dive on the floor. Hanover has it. Here comes Krim. 3-pointers good by Greenamoyer. Uh-oh. 3-point lead by Engineers. Hanover's on a spurt. We'll be right back.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
I ran out of my pain meds too quickly.
I took more and more to get through my day.
I did anything to get them.
I needed help. I needed hope. I found them both.
Professional, safe, no wait times, quality treatment. Regain something lost. Call or go to winrecovery.org.
Hanover on a 10-0 scoring run. Troy, this is getting real close.
Yeah, they've certainly brought themselves back into it here. Ty Houston hitting a few three-pointers and turnovers at the wrong time for the Engineers, and seems like Hanover's making them pay for it pretty severely.
5 turnovers total for Rose-Hulman and 3 for Hanover so far.
So I always like to look at the notable alumni from the schools, and Hanover's are kind of fun. You got Mike Pence. Woody Harrelson went there.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I saw a commercial with him, actually.
No
with
kidding.
Woody. Yeah, with Hanover.
Governor Eric Holcomb.
Okay.
And Micah Shrewsbury, the Penn State head coach.
Excellent. You know, I was watching a Hanover game recently, and they had Woody Harrelson on there. Pretty cool.
We got a 1-point ball game.
Sater. Boy, 12-0 run. Engineers not on pace for 100 and whatever anymore. Short on that 3, Sater the board. Hanover the opportunity to take the lead on this possession. Weininger gives it to him.
Well, these guys.
You cannot turn your back on the 3-point shooters. They're 5 of 9 thus far.
It seems like they can all shoot it, too.
Yes.
I mean, Weininger stepped out twice and just drained it.
When he plays Rose-Hulman, he's real comfortable, let me tell you. Bradley Harden.
Sorry, Walt. It was a big bucket by Harden, a momentum stopper there.
Absolutely. Tied at 29. Vuk Juric in the game for the first time, gets a rebound off the miss by Greenamoyer.
Haven't seen Vuk in a while.
No, we have not. A lot of injuries for Vuk. Nice little drop step by Hicks, and no, off the glass, Weininger has rebound number 2.
Like to see him get Max back involved on the offensive end.
Max would be someone that you'd want to continue to be able to shoot the ball well. That was a missed three-pointer. Max is going to draw a lot of eyes. People know they've got to keep a body very near him.
Getting harder for him to find open shots.
Went to the basket, a little short on the up and under, and Sater on the run out. Oh, you get him downhill. The great pass from, I believe, Krim. 2-point lead, 31-29, Hanover.
They're just so clean with everything they do.
Hicks. That was a big bucket. Big bucket by T. Hicks. He's got 7.
Terry is the senior leader on this team.
Yes.
Out of Fishers, Indiana. Remember watching him last year when they were struggling and kind of brought them out of it. And he's doing the same right now.
Krim right past Studemeyer. Gets 2 free throws, or will get 2 free throws out of this. Nice.
Terry, we always start talking
That's okay.
at the same time.
Go ahead.
Terry is he embodies the attitude of the Engineers. You know, the toughness, and you know, he can shoot the ball from deep too.
Right.
I mean, the guy is he's an all-around player.
Hicks with the Fishers is what I was trying to say there. Stumbled all over that. Host of substitutions for both teams. Sater and Weininger goes out. Munoz comes in, and I think it was also Ryan Morris that came in the game, 6'6" junior from McCordsville.
Where's McCordsville?
I don't know. I do not know. Herb King is somewhere watching this saying, Walt, you need to know where McCordsville is. I guarantee he's had a couple of players that live there now that used to play for him or something like that. Studemeyer, top of the key. Engineers, wait for this, I think a 6 of 7 from deep now.
Yeah, Studemeyer, the leading three-point shooter on the team, 47% from beyond the arc this season.
Having a great freshman season. Started the last, half a dozen games maybe. Greta Moyer drives around Harden, throws up a 10-footer, and it's good. Both teams most likely, close to a travel by Chaplin. Stopped just in time. Both teams will most likely be over 40. Of course, you never know when somebody's going to go dry. Hicks on the block. Over his defender. Ryan Morris couldn't quite defend that. Hicks with a quick move.
Yeah, that was quick. Him and Moyer, again, about the same size, and just beat him to it on that one.
Houston, top of the key. Does his shot look good, or does his shot look good?
It's beautiful. Perfect arc on it. I mean, it's so smooth.
Quick release, too. Just Harden thought about it. One of the first jumpers that you've seen by McGowan. I'd like to see him stretch out to that free throw line area. He normally does not take that shot. A little short on that one. Swung it over to Munoz. He did not hit that one, thankfully, for the Engineers. We're tied at 37 with just a shade over 3 minutes to go. McGowan on the block, an easy one there. Barbecue chicken.
Well, every time Hanover punches, Rose-Hulman's been able to get up and fight back. So far, so good.
39-37. We'll be right back.
Your all-pro running back, Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an all-pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one all-pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not number one.
You are!
You're number one at York.
is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Troy, one of the things that you were looking at and always looking at with Rose is rebounding. They have a 6 rebound edge over a team that rebounds the ball very well.
Yeah, Hanover, as said in the pregame show, they out-rebound their opponents by about 6 a game. So that bodes well for the Engineers so far. Right. They're doing what they're used to, and hopefully playing the kind of game they're wanting to. But, boy, Hanover they are lights out. They just make everything, it seems like.
Teams are starting to regress to the mean a little bit. Rose-Hulman right now, 61.5% from the field. Hanover, 58.3%. That'll continue to come down. And maybe both of them may end up around 50% like they did last game. But, you wouldn't expect them to shoot 70%. That'd be wild.
Yeah, they've gotten good looks all night long, but especially from 3, it just seems like they're knocking everything down.
They are.
50% so far, but
Houston going right around Chaplin with the hezzy.
That Houston's tough, man.
Good size, good length. Put it on the deck, shoot from deep. It's just hard to cover. There you go, Miles. Shoot the jump. I don't care if he misses that shot. I would really like to see him take that on a regular basis. He'll get more comfortable with that shot. It'll knock down. But teams will sag off of him so much, it's going to be open for him. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Greenham Moyer stepped right into that 3. When he stepped into it, you know what was going down.
Yeah, Greenham Moyer, he's right up there with Houston. They both shoot about 39-40% from there.
Chaplin trying to answer and does. Max Chaplin. He's got his third 3 of the game. He's 3 for 3 tonight. First Engineer in double figures. Hanover's got 2 in double figures, that being Houston and Sater. Didn't know Sater had 10 points already. That was a sneaky 10 points.
Rose-Hulman 6 of 7 from beyond the arc.
That's not something you say very often. Blair wanted it, didn't get it. Harden has it. He drives. A little bit of hesitation and off the glass.
Kept the defender on his hip the entire time.
Yes, he did.
Wide open drive to the basket. Good job there by Harden. He's got a couple big shots in this one so far.
Nowhere to go, and there's a pass to the wing. That shot is no good. Still no offensive rebounds for Hanover as the Engineers crash the defensive boards there.
Big opportunity for Rose-Hulman to hopefully stretch this thing out just a little bit before we reach the half.
You knew Hanover wasn't going away. They're a proud group, and they play so well. So offensively potent. Harden, free throw line. Thought he got fouled. Did not. Crowd groans. A nice little teardrop pass down in the paint. The Zeta blocked by Blair. Little return to sender. Oh, it's an offensive foul.
Yeah.
And McGowan wasn't set to deliver that screen. But also the ball handled a little far away. I don't think he was really expecting that screen there. Not a good time for a foul.
No, now you give Hanover the ball. They can hold for basically the last shot of the half. A few seconds left, but Rose-Hulman leading by 3. A really high-scoring first half here. Not exactly what I was thinking we were going to see.
That's right, me neither. I thought it'd be fairly high, but this is higher than I thought. Farnsworth in for this last defensive possession. Let's see if he makes a difference. Gilman with the ball. Jackson staring him down. Still plenty of time on the clock, shot clock. That's only been a factor once tonight. Gilman holding the ball. Dances with 10. Owen Rosie with 7. Got to make your move now. Houston has it. Farnsworth forces a tough one. Blair the rebound. Gives it up to Jackson. Jackson gets fouled. That's going to be free throws.
Yep.
That's going to be 1-1. That's not a good foul.
No, that was a big mistake. Just a loose ball foul there at midcourt with 1 second left. And who'd that go on, Gilman?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a silly one. And now Rose-Hulman hopefully can take advantage.
Oh, and we got a technical foul. Did we get a no, he blew a whistle and pointed at the Hanover bench. I guess we didn't get a technical foul. I thought he pointed at the coach. Okay, excuse me. I got a little excited.
Have a discussion here at the scorers table.
Yeah, okay. Not sure exactly what we're discussing, but we'll discuss this.
Oh,
a big thing. Oh, it is a technical. It is a technical. Coach Miller drew one there.
He's wondering what this is about, too. That gets the fans from Rose going.
Yes,
We've got
it does.
like the whole Greek life thing going tonight. It's pretty cool.
It doesn't take much to get these yahoos going, does it?
We got the whole of Phi Gamma Delta down here in front of us, and they are.
Jackson misses the free throw, the first free throw. I mentioned them being, I called them yahoos. These are very smart yahoos.
I call my son a Yahoo. They're different level. That's.
I hear you, man. Well, he split the technical free throws. Now we'll have the 1-and-1. So the Engineers, if they can knock down a pair here, that'd be huge.
Yeah, it's a pretty lousy sequence there for Hanover to finish the half.
Right. Jackson off the glass. Coach Miller still trying to get an explanation or make his point known. He knows he's got to. No, we're not in any danger of getting a second technical, but he's asking questions.
Jackson had only shot 11 free throws all year, and he just shot 4 in a row.
Gilman, a desperation heave. Oh my goodness! At the back iron. Mercy sakes. 48 Engineers. 42 Panthers after the first 20 minutes of play. Hot and heavy was the first half. We'll take our break and come back with our halftime show. Got a lot to talk about, Troy. We'll do that after these messages on the Indiana Sports Network.
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive healthcare for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network. It's time for the halftime report on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, the Engineers and the Panthers have played some doozies over the years, and tonight, Troy, is looking to be another one in that long list. And 48-42, the score at the half. The festivities at halftime is always interesting. Here at Rose-Hulman, Greek life is being on full display tonight. And we got some competition going on. It's interesting because I think I see Allie Foltz down there getting ready to shoot a basketball. She played for the women's basketball team last year.
Yeah.
So
and,
a little bit
like
of
an
a ringer.
unfair advantage there. Yeah.
We'll see.
You brought that up. I wanted to mention one thing. I don't think we've talked about it at all, but December 14th, the head coach of the women's basketball team, Coach Prevost, retired after 17 seasons with Rose-Hulman. Unfortunately, he didn't get to coach much of this season as their season was cut off early, but overall a 213 and 189 record, 149 and 107 in HCAC play. They reached the tournament twice, 3 straight conference titles.
Right.
We certainly wish Coach the best
Absolutely.
in his retirement.
Absolutely, and just a lot of games here with the Indiana Sports Network, watching some really good women's basketball, fundamentally sound, and ladies played hard. See several of the ladies in attendance that were on this year's team that, the season getting cut short.
And I think it was it Elizabeth Cannon who sang the national anthem?
Yes. Now, I don't know if she's singing it tonight, but several times.
I've seen her out here
yes,
several times.
Boy, she's my favorite anthem singer.
Oh, she's
here
really
at Rose-Hulman. No disrespect to any of the others, but she is really good.
Yeah, they each have their own style, and
That's
hers,
right.
It's a great rendition every time.
And it's a good rendition of basketball, a rivalry. I'll call it a rivalry, I guess, between Hanover and Rose-Hulman. 48-42. Lots of scoring today. Teams go a little bit of Rose-Hulman, a little bit of a low, kind of the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
started
they
to pick it up.
Came out guns a-blazing,
Yes.
and then Hanover, boy, they got on a run. I think Rose-Hulman was up by 13 at one point, but Hanover chopped that down quick. Obviously, Ty Houston, I mean, this guy is something else. He's hitting threes left and right. Greenamoyer's hit a couple, but who is it? Weininger keeps stepping out, and it's like Rose-Hulman's not really prepared when he steps out beyond the arc, but that guy can hit him, man, 6'7" or not.
When you look at the way basketball is played now, some of your bigs that are stepping out, and big guys aren't used to guarding the three-point shot unless your team is constructed like Hanover. I think maybe Weininger maybe a little bit better because he sees that in practice every day.
Yeah.
But when you're a team like Rose-Hulman, we look at Blair, McGowan, Jurich, they're not used to stepping out to the three-point line to guard something like that, so it's a tough cover.
Yeah, I think you're right, and there's a little bit of that is he really going to make this, repeatedly to where I have to worry about it? And Weininger is. You have to worry about it. So it's not like Simon. I mean, he hit one in the first half, but like I said, he's only 5 for 25 on the year, so it's not a consistent concern. But with Weininger, I mean, this guy, he can shoot it inside, outside. He rebounds well. I mean, they've got a lot of guys you can say are just all-around players.
They really are, and the way they pass the ball is really something, isn't it?
Oh, man, the ball movement is incredible. Coach Miller does a great job. Everything, as I said earlier, is so precise. You watch some of the big-time games on TV, Kansas, and you watch IU or Purdue, even when they're really playing well, and they've got some possessions, it's just a throwaway. They go down there, and it's just a toss-up. They'll toss it into the lane, hoping, Evie or Trace Jackson's going to come down with it, and it's just a lob in there. But everything with Hanover has intent to it, and they don't waste possessions at all.
Not wasting possessions will usually keep you in a lot of games. We'll take our first break of our halftime show as I think they're playing knockout. It's getting hot and heavy here at Rose-Hulman. Hate to step away from this, but we got to pay some bills. Since commercial timeout, we'll be right back on the Indiana Sports Network.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business.
XLH Sports, the undisputed leader in Indiana high school sports, is proud to be associated with the Indiana Sports Network. XLH Sports. Check it out today.
Here at Mossy Oak Properties, Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we know hunting property, and our agents have the skills to close the deal. But what is it that separates us from others? we have field experience. We speak the language. We use targeted marketing. We cast a wide net, and we have local contacts. When it comes to buying or selling your hunting ground, let's just say we're killing it.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Great crowd on hand here at the Holman Arena. Rose-Hulman proving that if you feed them, they will come. The students are getting a little bit of dinner tonight, that chance to shoot some shots. Some of them did to represent their fraternities, sororities, and have a great time here at the Holman Arena. It's a great place to watch a basketball game. You know, great seating, well lit, beautiful gymnasium, and Rose-Hulman puts a quality product on the floor, game in, game out.
They really do. It's a unique experience coming in here. It's not like any other gym you really see around. You know, and the overlook onto the football field's really cool, and it's a cool place to come and watch a game for sure. But yeah, it seems like the crowd's been growing every game as we go along through the season, and they have these special events like tonight with the Greek night, and then community night earlier this year was a huge one here, and it's really cool to see this place when they fill it up a little bit.
I think they might be trying to get a little closer to Anderson for lead of attendance in the conference. Anderson leads the attendance crown race, I guess you would say, by quite a sizable margin. They get good crowds at Anderson. Probably do some of the similar things. Have the students come out and you know have a good time, things like that, feed them and stuff like that. When you look at this game, Troy, three-pointers really falling for Rose-Hulman. I think there are 6 of 7 in the first half shooting the three-point shot.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, that's not something we're used to saying, but Max has 3, I think, and Blair hit 1.
Right.
Terry maybe with the other 2.
He hit 1.
Oh, he's got 1.
Studemeyer hit the other.
Studemeyer, yeah. So spreading it around too, but they're going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to play just as well in the second half if they're going to take Hanover down.
Maybe even better.
They've lost 3 in a row to Hanover. They dropped both matchups last year, and as we said, the one earlier this season. So it's time for that streak to end, I think. So.
I would agree. When you look at Hanover, 7 of 15 from three, and really playing well, and just really a team that you know is going to get hot. You just hope to really weather that storm.
Yeah, and so far so good. Rose-Hulman has out-rebounded the Panthers by 8, so that's certainly going well with them. But, yeah, the 3 main guys, Max and McGowan and Terry, they're being consistent like we always preach about. So far so good. Couldn't have started better for Rose, and they hung in there pretty well through that little lull about halfway through the half. And, yep, it's going to be an exciting one, man. You think we'll hit 100 here with either of these teams?
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It'd be nice.
Different.
I don't expect it. Hanover better not. If they do, I might come unglued. But Rose, it'd be nice, right? You know, it's hard to shoot that well for 2 consecutive halves in the same game.
Yeah.
Maybe a second half of one game, a first half of another game, something like that. But back-to-back halves in the same game, it is really, really hard for Rose-Hulman to shoot, especially when you don't shoot the three ball as well, anywhere close to that. Water always finds its level, Troy, and that's, I hope that they can continue to hit, but you would think that those numbers will continue to go down just a little bit. We'll step aside for our last break in our halftime show. Come back and get you set for half number 2. This is Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
and there's fish everywhere. Oh, and snapping turtles. For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
A big thank you to Brian Sponsor Insurance, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties. I love their commercials, by the way. Riddell National Bank and York Automotive. York has locations in Brazil, Greencrest, Oak Crawfordsville, and Plainfield. A total of 5 York locations here in the state of Indiana, and they're ready to serve you, show you that you are number one. And so you have a need for a used or new vehicle, go see York Automotive staff and definitely get you hooked up. 20 minutes on the clock here, Troy, as Rose-Hulman, what they have to do to, keep this lead and to win this game.
Well, you'd like to see the shooting, as you said, it's probably not going to stay that high. I mean, they're about a 42% shooting team, and they're shooting 60% right now. So you'd like to see it stay at a pretty high level, though, to compete, because you don't feel like Hanover's going to drop off a lot. But defense has been okay. Not wonderful, but they've hung in there. And just don't turn the ball over, man. Don't give Hanover more chances than possible. So
Houston working hard on Chaplin. Gets to the free throw line. You can see the aggression that Hanover came out of the halftime with. I think they got a little talking to. They came out pretty late in the halftime, and a very hard take there by Houston.
Coach Miller had a pretty good buzz going in there. He knew he was a little ticked off right at the half. He was still yelling at the ref, "What did I do?" when they were leaving the court. So something to prove here for the Panthers.
Houston gets point number 14 and 15 on that trip to the charity stripe. As I mentioned, has averaged 19 points a game against the Engineers after his freshman season. McGowan, 3 times down, needs to get it kicked out. And boy, he met a lot of resistance. The referees let them boys play, Weiniger and McGowan. And McGowan got the better of that situation. Nice little drop down to Saders. A beautiful little runner there with the left hand. Engineers moving the ball crisply. Studemeyer gets it to Hicks. Runs into Sader. Sader is a thick kid. Just a sophomore, but he was strong as a high school student. Shot clock down to 7. Hicks goes into Sader, gets a little bit of space, but could not make the 15-footer.
Yeah, they got Sader at 6'5", 210. He is He's a brick wall when you're trying to go through him.
Yep. Doesn't shoot the three all that much. Has a lot of guys like that you can toss it to. Ty Houston has got 18 points.
I'm not sure how he ever finds himself that open.
Well, that would be something I'd love to know as well. Love to know, Studemeyer. They went
Cody.
under the screen, left him wide open for the elbow jumper, and he makes him pay.
Failed assignment on both ends that time as Rose with a big answer.
I don't think the scouting report is to go under the screen on Studemeyer. He'll knock down that three. Gilman, Weininger to Sater. You see the ball just does not stick. A lot of movement. Gilman gets one up. That's splashed down right through there. 52 to 51. Hanover just down the point. Hot start to the second half for both teams. Chaplin, oh boy, coming across the curl. Didn't get his way. Harden with 10. Hicks, top of the key. Missed everything but the backboard. Lead ahead pass to Sater, couldn't quite grab it, as he might have been looking at the basket just a little bit too early. If I remember correctly, did he play football? I thought he did, but I don't want to. I've already committed to the thought, so
I'm going to guess he wasn't a receiver after that.
I thought I remember him playing football.
That's one of the few times we've seen Hanover make a mistake like that. They're very sure-handed.
Nice job by McGowan to catch that ball on the run. He went off glass. McGowan's got 13 points. McGowan and Chaplin both in double figures. Houston and Sater in double figures for the Panthers. That one off the iron and no. Don't want to jinx anything, but still no offensive rebounds for Hanover. Chaplin, a look off the iron.
I always love when the smallest guy on the floor boxes somebody out and gets the rebound in traffic.
Houston, he had a shot if he wanted it. Moved around and Gilman missed a three, and Engineers almost threw it away. That was close. Just a one possession lead. Harden probes. Drop down to McGowan. He just crashes into Weininger, and Weiner gave ground.
Weininger, I think, was trying to get a call there, and it didn't work, and ended up costing his team 2 points.
56-51.
You know, when you're as physical as Weininger is in there, you can't play that card very often.
Stepped out of bounds at Gilman, and that'll lead us to our first break of the second half. Engineers up 5 with 15:23 to play.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1. You are. You're #1 at York.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Both the Engineers and the Panthers have split their last 10 games. And I'm not just talking about the last 10 games in this season series. I'm talking about this season. Both teams have split their last 10 games.
Yeah, it's been kind of an up and down road for every team in this conference other than maybe Anderson. And, as we've mentioned several times, coming down the stretch run here, I was just looking during that break at the next 3 games for both of these, and each of them, 2 of the 3 games are against the bottom 3 in the conference. So it's going to be important to take those ones you should win.
Right. You talked about that during the season, getting the ones you should win. McGowan goes right into the double team. Hanover causes the jump ball. Engineers keep possession. That's something you talked about during the season.
Yeah, Hanover, their next 3 at Defiance, and then they have Anderson in the middle, and then at Earlham, you would think they're looking for all 3 of those since the Anderson game's at home.
Good out-of-bounds play. You gotta tie that. Oh, my. How about the tip in by McGowan? Boy, that was big.
Yeah, it seems like Miles has been a little more physical tonight than normal.
And he needs to be. Green and Moyer passes it, and here comes Houston. Little jab step there. Had Chaplin rocking. Turnaround. You just thought that was going down. Blair and McGowan in the game together with Harden, Chaplin, and Bowman, who has the ball right now. Would love to see Bowman get going.
He's got some pretty decent minutes tonight.
Gilman bumps into him. That's team foul number 1 on the Panthers in the half.
If you look at the next 3 for Rose-Hulman, this Saturday they host Mount St. Joe's, who's right in this battle with them. Then they host Earlham next Wednesday, and then at Bluffton. So Earlham and Bluffton, you feel like you got to win those, and you got a pretty good shot with Mount St. Joe's. So
it's a home game, you got to win.
Yeah, hopefully this is the start of a good little 4-game stretch here for the Engineers.
Chaplin draws defense as the Hanover goes to a zone. Bowman pops a 3, is a little bit short. Rose-Hulman 4-1 at home this season thus far. Hanover 2-4 on the road. Ball pops around to Krim. He knocks it down.
Just can't give him that much time to set up.
That's 3-point hit number 9 on the evening. They're 9 of 19. Harden offensive foul. Pushed off to try to get a little bit of space. He got the space, but also the whistle. Team foul number 2 for the Engineers.
That was Kyle Krim, hit that 3 a minute ago. He's a 6-foot sophomore out of Manila, Indiana, which I don't know where that is either.
I was going to ask you, do you know where that is?
That was only his 6th 3-point attempt of the year.
Never heard of Manila, Indiana.
Let's look it up.
Yeah,
I am. All right.
We're both grabbing our phones.
Another offensive foul, this time on Hanover. That one goes against Matt Munoz.
Yeah, and Munoz had an opportunity, maybe a little too eager there.
Turnabout's fair play.
It is. That's what they say, huh?
Tony's just naming off countries in our ear.
Yeah, he is.
I know what he's doing there. Terry.
How about that? That's a big 3-point hit by the Engineers. That's their 7th 3-point hit tonight, I do believe. Unless I went a little bit too. Maybe they're 6.
I think that was just a 2 there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Terry's found that sweet spot at the top of the key, and it's he's hit that about 3-4 times tonight.
And Sater absorbs the contact. I'm just telling you, folks, this kid is tough. I love watching them come down for the classic during the Christmas holiday. Watching Edgewood and the Saters had some really good teams while he was at Edgewood. And I just really enjoyed watching that young man play. And to see him have the success that he's having at Hanover is just really awesome to see that. Don't necessarily want him to go off against Rose-Hulman like he is tonight, but against everybody else, I'm a big Sater fan. I'm telling you, I was a big fan while I was in high school.
This has all the vibes of one of those down to the last possession games,
does.
you know.
Jackson on the take, no. Blair, no. Munoz comes down with it. Engineers couldn't quite capitalize. Here comes Green and Moyer. Still, no offensive boards for Hanover. Farnsworth and almost an ill-advised pass, and that was close to a turnover, but the foul came first.
Yeah, it was Munoz had his arm extended there. I think that's his third of the game, so that's a big foul there. They're going to bring Weininger back in.
So I looked it up. Manila is in between Shelbyville and Rushville.
Well, I've been through there. I must have missed it.
Yeah, I usually stop at Shelbyville. That's about as far as I go in that, a lot of times. Farnsworth thought about the three. He'll drive. He loves the contact.
Isaac doesn't shy away from it. That's
No.
for sure.
If I had a football team, I'd start with Farnsworth, and he did play football at Snyder. I'd also get Sater on my football team as well. I'm talking about football team out of the players that we have. I should have been more specific. Out of the players that we have on the
I'll say just
on
any
the roster.
football.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
right. Yeah. Forget Patrick Mahomes. Forget Debo Samuel.
You're taking Isaac Farnsworth every day.
Oh, man. You got to be more specific sometimes. All right, duly noted. Duly noted. 62-57. A fun one here at the Holman Arena. The students are still here.
They got free pizza, so
Yeah.
they're still here.
Ty Houston's still here. He's got 20.
Boy, this is stayed at about 3 points this entire half.
Ball tipped away as they tried to enter the post. Ooh, I thought Houston was going to dial that up. Probably should have.
I thought he was going to walk, but he didn't do that either.
Greenamore on the drive, left side of the paint, up and good. Greenamore's got 9. Evidently that last bucket was not Houston. I think that might have been Sater. I'm sorry, folks. Houston, I'm sure, will get his 20th point at some point in the near future. Blair free throw line area. Hicks.
Nice find.
Oh! You have to get those opportunities to go down. That's a couple of we've seen miss right at the rim.
Yeah, such a great find by Hicks, and Farnsworth just a little too much on the layup.
In the first offensive board, Weininger snatches the rebound away from Rose-Hulman. And
There we go.
Big miss right there by Houston as he claps his hands in disgust.
But you look at who's on the floor for Rose, and other than Terry, this is not the starters. So if Rose-Hulman can survive this stretch, they'll get their starters back in there, hopefully with some fresh legs.
Still clinging to a 1-point lead. Corner three by Bowman. He rattles it home, folks. Fresh off the farm, Bowman delivers, just like his parents delivered us some nice goodies a couple of weeks ago from their farm. Much appreciated from that.
Willie Bowman, a 40% three-point shooter this year.
That one was rushed there by Weininger. And he should have gotten the foul. Oh, my. I thought he was first to the ball. I could be wrong. Sater keeps the ball moving. He has it back in the corner against Jackson. Jackson providing resistance. Sater got fouled and one. Coleman, Sater, folks, having himself a game.
Boy, Farnsworth came around the backside just a little too late to help. Caught him across the arm. We got a 2-point ball game.
9:43 to go. 65 Rose, 63 Hanover.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s,
Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
from 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in Central and West Central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, Coleman Sater, all he's done tonight, 17 points on 7 of 9 shooting. And I'm telling you, folks, Coleman Sater, just a sophomore. This is a young man that's going to continue to come into his own here at Hanover. As time goes on, I would imagine his role will expand as you see a good shot of the students here.
Sater only averages a little over 8 a game, so he's really stepping it up tonight. He's going to be pushing 20 here.
Yeah, he definitely is. And just, we talk about it a lot. Matchups make a big difference. He's kind of that undersized power forward, if you will. And with that free throw, Coleman Sater now has a new career high as they apply a little pressure. He's got 18 points.
Max and Miles back in the game for Rose.
Jackson with the dribble. Terry hits the mid-range, no good. McGowan tips the ball to himself, another offensive board. Chaplin gets it to Farnsworth. He travels, no, he steps out of bounds. Oh, and that is turnover number 9 for the Engineers. Harden comes back in for Jackson.
It almost seems like sometimes Farnsworth gets a little too quick for himself. You know, he's one step ahead of where he should be and causes some mistakes.
Wants to make some things happen for his team. I think the effort is definitely there. Just having a little bit of a slump this season. Nice take there off the glass. Nope. Engineers dodge a bullet on that possession. Harden takes the 3 a little early. No, Chaplin couldn't get his hands on that one, and Sater says, slow down, boys. Let's set it up here. Bryce Gilman getting a nice rest along with, Weiner's right there. Oh, Sater. I'm just saying, he's just too athletic for a lot of these guys for Rose-Hulman. He just really is.
Yeah, Miles made that as hard as he could on him without fouling, and boy, Sater still found a way.
Doing a great job on Chaplin off of these curls. Sater is checking him right now. Hicks trying to get a little space. Couldn't get it. Great rebound by Weininger.
It's a dangerous spot for Rose. Hanover's really on a run here.
Hanover up 1 with the ball. Trying to, there's a foul by Farnsworth. That'll be foul number 2, I think, and we'll take another media timeout. Hanover 66, Rose 65, 7:41 to go, second half.
Protect the things that matter most to you. Brian Sponsler, localizing 25 years of insurance experience to bring you and your family better coverage for less. Brian Sponsler Insurance for auto, home, life, and business.
Here at Mossy Oak Properties, Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we know hunting property, and our agents have the skills to close the deal. But what is it that separates us from others? We have field experience. We speak the language. We use targeted marketing. We cast a wide net, and we have local contacts. When it comes to buying or selling your hunting ground, let's just say, we're killing it.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at YorkAutomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, the Engineers, after hitting 6 threes in the first half, only hit 1 in half number 2. They're trailing by 1, Troy. This half is starting to become a little bit of a grind.
Yeah, it is. Hanover, boy, they're not showing any dip in energy or anything like that. So Rose-Hulman's going to have to find a second wind here because the Panthers are pushing hard. They got 2 guys with 20 points now. Yep. And, well, you're right. This is the night of Sater's life so far. It
is. The Coleman Saters is having himself a game as Krim has played a really good second half. Only has 4 points, but has really controlled things pretty well. Foul on Chaplin. Okay. Third team foul on Chaplin. Still expecting the Engineers to win this game because Max has made 2 or more 3-pointers. We're holding to that stat there, Troy.
It ain't over yet. So.
Oh, travel on Houston? No, he kept a pivot foot just barely and got a 2-pointer to go.
Somebody's got to step up here. Is it Max? Yep. Is it Terry? Or
it's Bowman. Oh, off the back iron. Had his feet set and had an extra moment there to collect himself as well. Just could not knock it down. Hard take by Greenamore. Just beat everybody to the spot. Greenamore, the 6'1" junior from Zionsville. Biggest lead for Hanover. Hicks thought about it, keeps it moving. Blair in the post. Sater right there with him, and the hook does not go. Sater just did not give ground.
No, he doesn't. He's a rock wall, man. Yep. He's a solid kid.
Pass deflected. Bowman the steal. 3-on-2 break. Have to capitalize. We'll get to the free throw line. Wasn't the prettiest thing, but
the shots just haven't been falling here in the second half like they were in the first for Rose. But if there's one guy you want at the free throw line, it's Mr. Bowman. He leads the team at 94.5%.
Uh-oh, did you just?
I tried. Well, let's see if it works. He's too good. Can't jinx him.
Too good. I like that. McGowan in. Blair out. Blair's got 7 points tonight to go along with 7 rebounds. Leads his team in that category. Weininger leads his team in the category with rebounds, also with 7. Matt Munoz, really the only guy in serious foul trouble. He's got 4. Gilman has 3, which is why you don't see him in the game and haven't in a while. At least partially why. A quick trigger there. And a big offensive rebound by Houston. Back to a 5-point lead for Hanover.
Houston just everywhere on the floor.
Yep. McGowan passes into 2. Bowman with the 3. Oh, it does not go. Shots just are not falling for the Engineers. They are now below 50% for the field. Harden the foul. Hanover right now on an 11-2 run the last 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Engineers, 1 of their last 10 field goals.
Yeah, and they were 6 of 7 from three-point land in the first half, just 1 of 7 since.
Water, meet level.
Yep. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head when you said that. Everything's kind of falling back into place. But, I mean, Hanover's still pushing really hard. Rose, nothing's falling.
Yeah. Big stretch right here. Houston going to the bench to get a breather. Michael Donahoe, the sophomore, 6'3" sophomore from Rockport, coming into the game. Played a little stretch in the first half, and now right here in the second half. We'll see if the Engineers can dent this lead. A 7-point lead by Hanover. That's a hold.
Whoa.
There we go. Wow. Foul number 6 That was almost 2 fouls there.
Greenamore looked like he shoved Max at one point.
Well, he had a hold on him and just didn't want to let him go. It's better to get the hold than to give up the layup. So I do like the foul, to be honest with you. Only the 16th foul. Out of the timeout, or out of the out-of-bounds situation, the zone defense. And Harden, so many teams go to a zone out-of-bounds plays for defensively.
Harden doesn't score a whole lot, but when he does, it's always at a crucial juncture in the game.
Greenamore on the switch, Sater wide open. Gets the pump fake and he makes the bucket. Boy, you got to be able to play that pick and roll when it's tough. Engineers down 7.
Yeah, they got to make every possession count now and definitely start getting some stops on the defensive end.
That's the one thing the Engineers just have not been able to do tonight is get stops. Harden steps in. Crowd loves it. Engineers, can we get a stop? Down 5, 76-71. Under 5 minutes to go in the game. Ball moving so, look at that. Just look at that.
Got to get that.
Big rebound by McGowan. Here we go. There's one, pull it back. Oh. I like the shot.
Yeah, I do too. That could have changed the momentum in this ball game. That wasn't a bad shot at all for Max.
Little transition 3, and he gets his hands on it. Couldn't quite save it. 4:06 to go. We'll have shooting free throws on any foul from here on out. Rose-Hulman, 7 fouls, and Hanover with 6. There's a quick rest for Houston, but he comes in for Greenamore, who will get a quick rest. Media timeout is looming, so a very good use of the bench by veteran head coach John Miller.
See Gilman come back in. As you said earlier, he's from nearby Clinton.
Yeah. Another player I really enjoyed watching from around here. Almost stepped out of bounds. Stepped over the 10-second line. 7 on the shot clock. Houston with Chaplin. Takes his time. Sater, his first 3 of the game, and didn't hit iron. We got a shot clock violation. That'll lead us to the last media timeout. Rose-Hulman's going to have to make a little hay. 3:46 to go.
The city of Brazil was founded in 1866. By 1876, there were 2 schools, 7 dry goods stores, 2 hardware stores, 4 churches, and 5 drugstores. One of those drugstores is still there today, Lynn's Pharmacy. Lynn's Pharmacy has grown from a small neighborhood drugstore to a modern pharmacy, offering prescriptions and medical equipment with old-fashioned values and unparalleled service. You can even step back in time and visit Lynn's Soda Parlor
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive healthcare for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
Well, the Engineers found themselves down 5. In the first matchup earlier this season, Hanover made 17 of 31 from deep. Today, they're a respectable 9 of 24. Respectable from a Rose defensive perspective is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's seems like an onslaught. I can't imagine watching that first game. But no, every possession kind of magnified now. Yep. Under 4 to play, Rose trailing by 5, so you got to make every one count. But boy, defensively, you've got to find a way to get some empty trips against Hanover here.
Definitely winning time as the starters are on the floor for both teams. McGowan on the drive, left-handed, no! Gets his own board. Pitches out to Chaplin. Chaplin, 15-feeder. Baseline, no. Weininger the rebound. Big one. Sater. Kudos to him for not taking the tough shot around the basket. Ball keeps moving. Sater on the drive. Gets bumped by McGowan, who gets free throws. It'll be the 1-and-1 for Coleman Sater. So far tonight, he is 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Shoots, what'd you say, just a shade over 80% for the season?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep, 80, almost 83% from the line. He's the leader on the team. Can't jinx him either, man.
Can't jinx him either.
I tried. Yeah. But no, out of all the teams we've seen come in here this year, even Wabash, I think Hanover, you know, the most consistent, calm, and just quality possessions.
Sater got 1 of 2. With every point, he notches a new career high. He's got 23. It's 1 behind 24 of Houston, and the Engineers just cannot buy a bucket. Can't buy one right now.
Yeah, and they're not shooting poorly overall, but when you come out that hot, boy, now 47% doesn't look all that good.
No, it feels like an ice bath. In a turnover. Here we go. Studemeyer. Chaplin thought about the 3. Studemeyer has it. Nope. Got to move quickly, boys. Studemeyer take it. He does. He does not make it. Curls around the rim. Now 7 of 17 from distance are the Engineers.
One of their last 10 from beyond the arc.
Those last 2 misses from deep were just massive. If one of them goes down, it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah. Now you're looking at playing the fouling game more likely than not.
Houston and Chaplin really battling. Chaplin give him all he can handle. Greenamoyer had to force a deep one. The Engineers going to stop. Must get a bucket.
Got to do it quick, too.
I don't know if we have timeouts. We probably need one right here. This possession looks very raggedy. For deep in the ball game with money time, and you drop one off to McGowan. Oh, it's a big bucket. Engineers a quick timeout. We'll be right back. 1:28 remains.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
77-73, the Engineers huddling one for one of the final times tonight. It's got 1:28 on the clock. The Engineers have gotten a few stops on the last 5 possessions, Troy.
Yeah, they have. Not able to connect on the other end, though. Finally, Miles got one to fall and got this down to a 2-possession game. But, boy, it's been a rough road to hoe here in the second half for Rose-Hulman. Trying to end this 3-game winning streak that Hanover has on them and trying to claim 4th place in conference play. And, boy, the HCAC just keeps delivering quality basketball games.
Rose-Hulman only 25 points this half so far. Hanover only with 35, but they've been much more consistent than the Engineers have. With the Engineers shooting 34.5% from the field.
Got some full court pressure now.
Jackson and Forrest, we're going to call a timeout. They called the timeout as Coach Miller saw that old Gilman was in a straitjacket. 1:24 to go. We'll be right back.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools.
We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, after the last possession on the offensive end by Rose-Hulman, Zachary Jackson and Isaac Farnsworth were inserted for defensive purposes, and it paid immediate dividends. Now let's see if the Engineers get a stop or a steal.
Well, you want to stop. Yeah, you want aggressive. You put in Farnsworth and Jackson. So.
Yeah, I agree. Engineers denying the ball. Close to a 5 and a push by Chaplin. That's going to be his foul number 4. That was really close to a 5-second call. Maybe not as close as I thought, maybe.
So that's 4 on Max. Going to the line, Greenamoyer on the year, he's a 77% shooter.
Hanover, the top defense in the conference when you look at opponents' points. Couldn't tell in the first half. Definitely can in the second. Oh, it's a big miss.
Oh boy.
Big miss. Engineers down 4. Need a bucket in the worst way quickly. Not a whole lot going on. There's a lot of wasted time happening right here. Chaplin to McGowan. Nothing going to happen there. Chaplin back to McGowan. Spins off the glass. No! Sater comes down with it, and he gets fouled.
I don't know about that.
How big? I thought Sater got to the ball first. If you get the ball first, you're just going to get that call. You know, watching Indiana State last night at Drake, they had an opportunity. I think they were down 2. Robbie Avila had a left-handed layup just like that. That did not go down just like that as well. And that's what that shot by McGowan just reminded me of. It's like late in the game, you have to be able to make those type of shots. I know that was a contested shot, but that's a shot that needed to go down for Rose-Hulman, didn't it?
Well,
And now
they took so much time on the
they
possession,
did.
and then it seemed like Miles almost rushed it. You know.
Yep. Almost what, 25 seconds on that possession?
Yeah. Now you're looking at probably shooting some threes.
Yeah. Hicks will take one. Crashes off the back iron, and Stoudemire.
I think he's all right.
Yeah, he got fouled. As once again, first for the ball will get you the whistle.
That's Gilman's 4th.
To the free throw line is the freshman Stoudemire. Jackson and Farnsworth back in for the defensive possession.
Well, this is just 1-1.
Yep. He needs a pair. Got the first one. Want to remind you that on Saturday at 1 o'clock, that's a 12:45 pregame, it'll be Cancer Awareness Day here at the Holman Arena as Rose-Hulman hosts Mount St. Joe.
Once again, Walt, that will be a big matchup.
Yes, it will.
It's our favorite saying here.
Yes, it is. Sater struggling to get it in and got it in just in time. Max didn't want to foul. Gilman will get it across, and now the Engineers will have to foul someone quickly. There it is. Jackson fouls Gilman. As a team, the Panthers are a 71% free throw shooting team. That's second in the conference.
As you mentioned, Hanover only gives up 63 points per game. Rose-Hulman up to 75 tonight.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Rose-Hulman has given up almost 80 once again. So,
yeah. And that's another big miss by the Panthers as they're leaving that door open for the Engineers.
Yeah, if they could get a shot to fall, one of these threes
that's
to
a big
fall.
if, yeah.
We're talking a one-possession game.
Yep.
So. This is Gilman, 70% shooter, missed the first.
Oh my, used all of the rim and half the glass, and a big timeout is called. 37 seconds to go. Engineers down 5.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s,
Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, there's 37 seconds that remains before either Rose's third loss in a row or Hanover's third win in a row. Which way is it going to be, Troy?
Yeah, obviously we're hoping Rose can come down here and hit a quick three. I think it's got to be a three.
I agree.
The Panthers are an excellent free throw shooting team overall. But boy, you got to make it quick and try to extend this game. And you never like being the team on this end of the fouling situation because it just doesn't work out that often. But you never know.
Hanover in a zone. Studemeyer, baseline, and a turnover. A turnover that'll pretty much do it. Going to have to foul. It's Chaplin's 5th foul. He fouls Houston. And Houston has been a problem.
That's clever. He's real clever.
Yeah. He's been a problem for the Engineers now for the 3rd year in a row. Didn't play much as a freshman, but like I said, has averaged 19 points a game against the Engineers over the last 3 years.
I know you look at Hanover, Houston, Greenamoyer, Weininger, Sater. I mean, they've got a heck of a ball club.
They really do. You never know what happens in the postseason. The Engineers might see him again. You just don't know.
I kind of hope they don't.
I would agree. It's just it's not the greatest of matchups for the Engineers, I don't think.
No, it's not.
I really don't. You know, if you have a lot of wing length, which the Engineers do not. Yeah. Engineers do not have a lot of wing length, but I think to play a team like Hanover, you got to be able to switch 1 through 5. You got wing length. You know, I'm talking about 6'4" to 6'6". You know, you can do pretty well by just Engineers don't have that. Bowman hits a 3. We've needed that in the worst way for the last several minutes. A quick 30 seconds. We're going to keep it here. As Bowman brings it to a 4-point game.
We were talking about how big each and every game is, and this is for Hanover. You come to Rose-Hulman, not an easy place to get a win by any means. I mean, the Engineers 4-1 at home this year. You got a pretty raucous crowd in here tonight, and if Hanover comes in and steals this one, they got to feel really good. They'll be sitting in 4th place and still in the conversation for conference title. But, you know, they'll have that one extra game over Rose-Hulman and Transylvania. And is a big road win if they pull it off. Rose-Hulman, though, on the other hand, the next 3 games, you look at them, they're all winnable for sure. So, and they may have to take them all to stay in the top 6 here.
They'll be sweating bullets after this one if this one does not go their way. Sater will bring the ball out of bounds. I would imagine somebody will go deep. Yep. Get it into Houston. He gets fouled. The guy. That's if you're going to put somebody to the free throw line. Let me put it this way: if for Hanover, if you have somebody to the free throw line, I would think a senior like Houston is a pretty good option.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's clearly got ice water in his veins. He's like a 77% free throw shooter anyway.
And doesn't he look bigger than 6'3"?
He does.
A lot of times guys are listed much taller than they actually are. Maybe not much, but a little bit. He looks taller than 6'3". I'm just
got
saying.
him at 6'3", 195. Yeah. But again, your boy Sater tonight, I mean, real impressive stuff from him.
Just a matchup problem. Doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but doesn't have to. Engineers down 6. Down to 10 seconds. Harden will go to the bucket, and yes, it's going to be the last shot, and they can't even get it off.
Yeah, Rose has a serious clock management problem.
Yeah, boy, it's a tough one for Rose-Hulman here tonight as they drop one. 84-78. They just could not get stops when they needed to, and then when they did get the stops, could not knock down the shots. And Rose-Hulman loses their 4th in a row to Hanover. And as it a tough one as they slide down a little bit farther in the standings here in the HCAC. We'll step aside for a quick break. Come back for our post-game show. You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive health care for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
Well, the second half didn't quite go the Engineers' way, Troy, and they drop a big game, 78-84.
Yeah, you know, for as great as this one started, it kind of ended on a dud there, and seeing some disappointed faces walking out of the gym tonight, but it was hard fought. They just couldn't get the shots to fall in the second half.
They really couldn't, and you look at the way this went the second half, both teams only hit 2 3-pointers. Hanover was 2 for 10, Rose 2 for 12, or vice versa. Big thing though, Hanover 14 for 17 from the free throw line in the second half, and so they really lived at the line in that half. And I talked about at the beginning, they came out with a lot of aggression out of the halftime break. Maybe one of the worst things for Rose was Coach Miller getting that technical right before the half.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, it seemed like a bad end of the first half for Hanover, and it may have actually been what sparked them to come out so aggressive in the second half, because they definitely ran Rose over right when the second half started. And a valiant effort by the Engineers for sure. They're obviously still right in the thick of things. The standings have shuffled once again. You got Anderson on top. Now Manchester's in second. Franklin drops to third just simply out of not playing tonight. Hanover moves up to fourth. They're in sole possession of that now. at 7-4 in the conference, and then Rose-Hulman in a tie for 5th with Transy at 6-5, and Mount St. Joe's right there at 5-5. So,
and they're coming here Saturday.
Yeah, and if Rose-Hulman would lose that, all of a sudden they're not in a playoff spot.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It's a huge game on Saturday. The next 3 are going to be big ones for the Engineers.
Miles McGowan, a big 19 points to go to lead all scorers for the Engineers, to go along with 7 rebounds. Hicks and Chaplin both with 11 for the Panthers of Hanover. Man, I'm telling you, Ty Houston, 28 points. That's just what he does against the Engineers. He scores big. But Coleman Sater, folks, had himself a night, 25 points on 9 of 12 shooting from the field, set a career high. And he was a big factor in Hanover getting this win tonight.
Yeah, he was. You set a career high for him, right? And just a sophomore. Yeah. So, you know, we're getting rid of Ty Houston finally, and then here comes this other guy.
Yeah.
And, boy, Hanover's just not going to stop terrorizing the Engineers, it seems like. But Sater's going to be a problem for the whole Heartland Conference for probably the next few years. So,
you know, Coach Miller has guys that fit the way he wants to play. You know, a lot of skill, the skill guys that you're going to spread you out, shoot it from a lot of different spots on the floor, have some good ball handling, some good speedy guards, some tough guys that can do a lot. That's the same thing that he's been doing for years, and that's why I say with Coach, with Coach Nick Sales, I'll be interested to see if the next, I'm not discounting the season, but to see what his type of basketball looks like with guys that fit his mold. So I'm not rushing things, but I'm saying I am eagerly anticipating seeing how he really wants his team to look. But it's some growing pains that we're experiencing right now with this little slide for the Engineers.
Yeah, and they've made strides. We talked about that this year. From the way the year started, they've come a long way, and they're playing pretty good basketball right now. But the competition's getting pretty tough in the HCAC. And, Coach Miller of Hanover, he reminds me a little bit of Coach Hellawell here at Rose, the men's soccer coach, because it's no matter who you bring in, it's his kind of guy, and they're going to be successful. It's it's the culture, the attitude there, and 15 years on the job, he's a fine coach. But as for Rose, it will be interesting to see how they are the next few years when they start getting their kind of guys in. And, I think it's only up from here, but
I agree.
It's not like you're starting at the bottom. They got a pretty good group of boys this year.
They really do, and this season is not over. Rose drops one by 6, 78-84. Maybe they'll see Hanover again in the postseason. We'll see. I do think both teams definitely will be there. We want to thank Brian Sponsor Insurance, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. Kanan Harper, Nathan Cowan, and Grant Haining were our camera operators, our director and producer, Mr. Tony Harper. Don't forget, Saturday afternoon, 12:45 pregame, 1 p.m. tip. Mount St. Joe's comes to town to face these same Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers, and that will be Cancer Awareness Day. For my partner, Troy Wilzine, I'm Walter Gordon, saying good night, God bless. Stay safe out there. This has been a production of Indiana Sports Network. Thank you for watching.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.